Welcome everybody to Bodybuilding Bollocks episode number 10. Have we done 10 of these already?
10. Has it been 10?
I don't know. Let me check. No, this is number 9.
No, fuck.
This is not starting off very good. What's going
on? Honestly, absolutely nothing. I don't think I've trained in like 3. I think this is like my 3rd week I haven't trained.
You look fat right now.
Yeah.
I heard you were talking shit about me on some other podcast.
No, we were talking about I was talking about how you're the rudest person I've ever known, but you can be. But no, it was actually a compliment.
Oh, really?
I've seen you be so rude to people, but it never comes across rude.
How do you figure?
I don't. Cause I think because you're Canadian. I think that's what it is. It just comes across like blunt.
I'm not rude to people. I'm honest. There's a difference.
Yeah, but it's so blunt that most people would take it as rudeness because most people aren't like that. But it just doesn't come across rude.
Can I be honest with you? I don't even know I'm doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm not trying to be mean.
No, it's just who you are. You're a prick.
Yeah. Anyways, so what's the news? What's the bodybuilding news this week? Anything special?
Well, did we talk about I think no, we haven't talked about it. The Italian show, was it?
Who did the Italian show? I didn't even know there was a show. Oh, was that the one that Rolly won?
Yeah, Rolly won. And then Nathan
we talked about it a little bit. I said if Rolly showed up like that, he might have, I don't know if he would have won, but he would have done better.
We discussed that or not. But I don't think there's been any bodybuilding news this week.
Who cares? Let's go on and see what, what else I want to tell you. I put a post up and I'm always the ranting guy. I don't like to rant, but I'm getting really fed up with listening. I go to other channels. I'm not going to mention any names, but all they do is bitch about bodybuilding today.
Yeah, true.
Like it's fucking nonstop. Every fucking day, I get this short guy with blonde hair and tattoos all over his face, just fucking barking mad about how bodybuilders today are shit and they're lazy. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy? Was shredded like once. He won an Ironman Pro and he was shredded once.
Yeah.
So
I don't really think the conditioning is much better these days or early, because I think when you look at I don't think I remember like Sean Ray or Kevin Lavroni having dry, striated glutes and hams.
I do remember it, but not every fucking show.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, it wasn't like.
Look, I'll give you a perfect example. Look at 97 Kevin Lavroni, and this is no way, shape, or form disrespectful to those guys as bodybuilders. I think Lee Priest was an amazing bodybuilder. I think Kevin Lavroni was an amazing bodybuilder, but you have to respect other fucking people. And I don't think you should go on just saying everybody's shit. Not that Kevin Lavroni did it, but I remember in 97, or was it 98 when everybody was going to try and win because Dorian had left.
Yeah.
I remember Kevin tried to come in bigger.
Yeah.
And he was off.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things happen, but nobody seems to remember them.
What I mean is like, in those days, it wasn't like people, because you know how like some guys these days are just known for being peeled all the time. There wasn't that many of them back then. It was kind of the condition. There was Dorian, and then everyone else was kind of the same. Yeah. It was like everyone was in acceptable condition.
Yeah, like I remember a bunch of shows when I started. I think Nasser,
Nasser's a great example actually. He was never shredded out of his mind.
Well, he was a couple times, but his back would never get shredded.
Yeah.
But I just. And I remember a couple times, Sean Ray would take second when he was on, and then he would take 4th or 5th when he was a little off.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like I keep reiterating the same thing over and over again, so we don't spend a ton of time on it. But I feel like it's incumbent upon the older bodybuilders to fucking give a good name to the bodybuilders now.
Yeah, and I also think as well is I think what it is these days the shows are so well covered that it's easier to pick out when people are on or off.
Yeah.
And if you look back in the day, it's really hard to just be on all the time. It's not how it works.
Well, somebody brought up a really good point, because I posted this in a thread on my Instagram. Somebody brought up a really good point about back in the day, you would get some photos in a magazine. They were usually the best photos from the show. Yeah. And it would usually only the top 2 or 3 or 4 guys. And nowadays you're getting everybody in every picture at all angles at every single show. Yeah. And it's without fail.
The Olympia this year, everyone keeps saying, everyone was off.
No.
I was there. They weren't. Like,
No, I know.
I was fucking there.
Yeah.
And everyone looks 100 times worse in their pictures. Like, I keep seeing pictures of Patrick Moore. I'm like, dude, you look so much better than these pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, in the pictures, he looks pretty okay, but in person, he was peeled.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, it's not doing me any favors either. But I'm not blaming the cameras. I'm just saying all the lighting.
No, it does make it. I am blaming the cameras. It does make a difference.
But when people say the whole show was off,
yeah,
it's likely not everyone's off. It's more likely there's the cameras and the lighting isn't portraying.
No, Brandon wasn't off. Hottie wasn't off. William Bonack wasn't off. Like,
Dexter wasn't off.
But even those guys under the TV cameras did not look the way they looked in photos, or like obviously in person.
Yeah.
So
I always notice another thing is when you're watching the Olympia and somebody's filming it on their phone.
Yeah.
They film on stage and then they look up at the big screens.
Yeah.
Everyone all of a sudden on the big screen looks absolutely peeled out of their mind. And I kind of feel that's what the cameras like in the early 2000s and the 90s.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
They just seem to pick up everything and exaggerate every color and line, and everyone looks so crisp.
People think I got this thing out of thin air. I actually got it from a photographer. A photographer told me, he's like, it's different. The cameras are better. The lenses are clearer. It's all in HD. You get to see everything.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but
no,
it's just something that keeps coming up. And I'm like, you know, the people that are saying it the most are like, they weren't always in shape.
No, I mean, everyone is always off slightly. Everyone. Even the most consistent people can be off. Like Phil Heath's been off. Dorian was occasionally off.
Yeah.
I mean, but their offs are like a much smaller margin than some other people's offs. It's but there's shows when Kevin Levrone showed up literally looking fat.
Yeah, I don't remember those.
And it's like, I know I saw one the other day, and I was like, I'm sure that's got to be a guest spot.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't. It was one of the, I can't remember what year, but it was one of the final ones on the European tour after the Olympics. So you can just see these all beat up and watery.
Yeah, of course.
But it happens. It just happens to everyone.
Do you want to talk about anything that we talked about off air last week, like your new endeavor?
Which one? My 5 year plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can say that. I mean, I'm not going to get into the specifics.
No, we don't have to get into the details.
No, but I mean, it's pretty cool that I've re-signed with Redcon for 5 years.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
That's a really big deal for me. So
I think it's interesting for people to hear how things work. Like you had a good year, you've elevated your standard.
Yeah. So I mean, they signed me for 2 years, and 1 year in, we changed the contract. But it's like, and we're planning out the 5 years, and Aaron's been good enough to offer me the 5 year deal. But it's been a fucking hard year. It's been so much work.
Yeah.
I don't think people quite realize. I mean, they will say there's no money in bodybuilding. You can't earn a living. You fucking can. And I'm telling you, no one else is doing what I'm doing. Maybe apart from you, in terms of putting out so much content.
Yeah.
And Redcon basically let me do what I want. Like the both barrel series I did with Ben, that was kind of our idea because we were going to do it on my own channel. And Redcon was like, do it on us, and we'll give you some money or whatever. And it's brilliant, but I don't really see anyone else doing it to that extent. But the ones that are doing it at all are the ones who are doing better. Well,
the ones I see doing the most YouTube stuff are probably like you and me are doing more. I'm doing more now. I wasn't before, but I started now in the last couple months. And then, Seth Ferosi's got a huge YouTube. Then you got, John Meadows is doing a good, like on there all the time, constantly got videos out. So yeah, there is money in bodybuilding, but the interesting thing to me is you did so well. Somehow you got a 5 year deal, which is not always heard of in bodybuilding.
I think what it is though is because I'm willing to work, and I like it's as simple as that. If you want a bonus from your boss, if you want to. But
sorry to interrupt you. This is what I mean. In bodybuilding, I think because of social media, you can get a 5 year contract. I think if social media didn't exist, you might not get that 5 year contract.
I think back in the day, a lot of the contracts were 3 to 5 years.
Well, the reason I say that though is in 5 years, a lot can happen to somebody's physique. But even if, like, let's say you got hurt, like God forbid you got hurt or something like that, you can still pump out videos. You can still do videos, and you can still do, all this other stuff. So there's a lot more avenues to make money.
One of the funny things as well is I'm trying to get this surgery sorted out for the hernia repair.
Yeah.
which I actually saw the surgeon today to find out what's going on. And we're going to do a video of it.
You're going to do a video. You know what? That's good. I get a lot of questions about hernia surgery.
It'd be really funny, like, because it isn't a hernia. It's not. It was a hernia. I had it repaired when I was 19. I went to see a surgeon last week. I had a CT scan. He scanned it all, and the feedback today was the hernia is absolutely intact. Your abdomen wall is perfectly fine. There's no hole.
Yeah.
What it is where they repaired it before. There's just a big block of scar tissue under the skin.
Oh, so they're just cutting out scar tissue. It's not actually a hernia.
Yeah. So the hernia is repaired. It's just fine. So they're actually going to be. So I've been referred to a cosmetic surgeon to get me all the scar tissue scraped out. And
they're going to let you videotape that whole thing.
I hope so.
I don't think anyone's going to watch that, man. That's gross.
No, we don't have to watch any of the surgery. We can be going to the surgery, me being put on a general anesthetic, me waking up, all that kind of shit.
Yeah. The waking up part's funny. You're all fucked up. When you come around from general anesthetic, I think that's the funniest time anyone will ever be in their life. Yeah. Hey, do you think anybody else, and I hope this doesn't ruin anything for anybody, but do you think anybody else has a 5-year deal?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Really?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
I've never had a 5-year deal.
Well, I mean, with Redcon, I'm now exclusively with Redcon and no one else. So,
like no other companies at all?
No, and I won't be either. So I'm just, everything's going to be Redcon.
For those of you who don't understand what we mean, is usually when you sign a supplement deal, you're not able to go, obviously, and use other supplements, but you can still have a clothing contract or a magazine.
All of that is integrated into this one exclusive contract.
Yeah.
So it's
good for you, man.
Yeah, it's really good. It's exciting because I think Aaron has a lot of belief in me, and he basically just said, "Look, I want for you to be worth it. You need to be the best bodybuilder you can be, and that's going to take time." It says a lot
about Aaron as an owner.
He's just a great person. I mean, I can't fault him at all. I mean, a lot of the shit that I hear, it's just I'm like, is that a joke? Like, I don't understand. Like, some of the stuff is so insane that it's funny. But even before I was with Redcon, he was really good to me. He's always been
I've had friends who have run-ins with him. He's never done anything personally to me, but I don't want to pump up another brand, but I will say the fact that he is a lot of companies try to bleed bodybuilders like blood from a stone. Like they want to give you the minimal amount of money they can, and they want to get you to do as much shit as possible. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of refreshing to see somebody be like, look, this is what you're worth. This is what we're going to give you. And we know you're going to work for it. So, you know what I mean? Like, he's being fair with you like that.
Well, he's a big fan of bodybuilding as well. And he can see that bodybuilding is starting to kind of grow again.
Yeah.
And it's not a 2-year thing. It's not a 1-year thing. I mean, it might take me another 5 years to get to my potential.
Yeah.
And that's how long, because I've only been training 8 or 9 years properly.
Yeah.
So it's like, I haven't got anywhere near my prime yet. And I think he's more willing to invest that time because he knows it's going to be worth it in the long run as well.
What are you going to change in 5 years? That's what I want to know.
What do you mean?
Are you going to get bigger?
I don't know. I'm just want to be the best I can be.
What's the vision in your mind if you thought, like, okay, what's the perfect Luke? Like, what would you do right now if you could create the perfect Luke?
I would. This is one of the reasons why I'm getting this surgery, so I can actually start training my midsection better. Because it's not something. There's little things like posing, training my abs, training my calves.
What would you do to the main? Would you do anything to the main body part, the main body parts?
Well, no. What I mean is, it's like obviously the weaker body parts they are improving, so I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing. That just needs time.
But what are those? That's what I want to know. Like, what's
my chest and my legs are starting to come up to where I want them now. Because at the Olympia they were really good compared to what they've been for the rest of the year in terms of how big they were.
Yeah.
I just think that's a time thing because I've had to change my approach just because my knees are just not what they used to be.
I think it's just legs for you, man.
Yeah, it's not my legs that when I'm stood backstage, I'm looking at everyone's legs, and my legs are bigger than most people's here.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's what I mean. It's like they're not small.
It's not small. It's what's good for your body.
It's the roundness. It's like they kind of lose a bit of pop in the last kind of stretch.
I think it's just because your back is so big. Like the worst.
I think it's like the same as like everyone says Brandon Curry's got shit legs. No, he doesn't.
You know why they say that about Brandon? Because a lot of the bulk of his leg is his adductors.
Yeah.
He's got really thick adductors, and his lateralis is not sweep out like huge.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are looking for.
Yeah.
So
they came up from Tampa to the Olympia, so that's just a question of carry on doing what I'm doing. But it's also paying attention to all the other shit that I don't really have any want to do. Like I never train my calves ever. Like my midsection is like something I want to really focus on. That's the centerpiece of physique.
It's so fucking boring though.
I know. I fucking hate it.
I have so much. You know the pain you feel when you train legs.
Yeah.
I live for that pain.
Yeah.
The pain the pain you feel when you train abs. I'm like, fuck this. Like I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's not boring. Like standing there doing planks and fucking vacuums and crunches and wearing a belt all the time. That's all the shit that I've not given too much thought to. I did actually for the Arnold, and it paid off. My waist looked really good in the Arnold. It was tight.
Yeah.
So I was like, sweet, it's tiny now. I'll just leave it alone. Tampa was still pretty small. I mean, at the Olympia, I did have a ton of digestive issues. But looking at the pictures, I'm like, well, if I can.
I thought your Olympia was the worst. Your stomach looked.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The worst. Because
I
had a ton of I couldn't. Digest food properly.
It didn't look like you could do your vacuum as well as you could in earlier shows.
I couldn't. No, I didn't at all. No, fucking no. Like it was actually painful.
If
you watch all the videos, talking about how I use this shit. I tried everything.
Yeah.
So if that's like if you think about that being the centerpiece of your physique, I can get it a little bit smaller, a little bit more detailed, more controlled. Then that's just going to make the rest of me look bigger, especially if I keep bringing out my legs, and then everything's just going to flow better.
See, that was a mistake.
Because for me, it's not just about building muscle everywhere.
Yeah.
It's about improving what I have and just making everything better. And I think also with the training, I don't need to be squatting 8 plates anymore.
No, you don't.
So it's like I need to change my approach. So my leg training in terms of load has been less than it's been.
Do you think your legs would grow? I always wonder this with guys like you. Do you think you took your body to such a point with like the heavy squats? Do you think your legs would all of a sudden be shocked into growth if you went to like?
Well, look at my legs at Tampa versus.
But 1 second, instead of saying like 8 plates for how many reps did you do 8 plates for? 2?
Oh no, like 7 plates for 6, 7, 8.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about if you did 4 plates for 20?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that gonna like that? Do you think that would work?
Yeah, it would, and that's exactly. So what I did after Tampa is I was in because that's where Joe Bennett, the hypertrophy coach, lives, and he came down to the Red Carpet to Flexibilist's gym with me about 2 days after Tampa. And I said, Joe, help me out with my legs because he's trained with Bukowski. He's got good legs himself. He obviously trains flex. He was training Dallas, brought Dallas's legs up a lot. And I was like, And he taught me a ton of just things that you can do. None of it was stuff I haven't already done. It was just a bit. It was less just thinking about just pounding the weight versus making everything harder with the same weight.
Yeah.
So 3 days after my show, I was still safety bar squatting 5 plates, but the way he had me doing it was so much different. And then we only did like 4 movements, but every single one he milked the fuck out of, and he pushed me past my limit on every single set.
Oh, so you were doing failure on all the sets?
So yeah, but it was like, but not on the big heavy stuff. So on the safety bar squats.
So explain like what a leg workout looked out quickly.
So the one I did with Joe was we would do leg curls first, and we'd just do sets of say 6 to 8, just getting a real good feel for it.
Yeah.
So max set of like 6 to 8, and then we'd do all out failure, and then we'd do a back off set. So the second set would be a back off set. We'll do sort of like 8 to 10 to absolute failure plus partials, plus a drop, plus partials, plus a drop, plus partials.
Plus fuck.
And then an iso hold where you pull yourself forward on the machine and let it hold into the stretch position for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And every single fiber of my hamstrings was fucking done.
See, but don't you wonder, like people say like, oh, that's too much, like you're just torturing the muscle.
No, but that was one set. And then I moved on. It took me like 10 minutes.
Well, I'm not saying it's too much.
No,
but
I mean, normally I just do straight sets for legs. I just do straight sets. And so for example, just like we did the same thing on the leg extension. And then we did safety bar squats real heavy, just work up to like a max set of like 6 to 8, but leaving like a rep in the tank because because injury sake, and he still wants me loading, but he said it's not. We don't. They kind of agree that if you take that load to failure, my CNS is going to be trashed.
Yeah.
So when it came to leg press, it was the same kind of thing we do. I think we were doing sets of 10 until I went to a set where it was all out failure at 10 reps. Then we did a second set where we was a slight back off in the weight.
Yeah.
Same again, drop. Same again, drop. Same again, drop. And then he top, and then I do partials, and it was just horrendous.
So wait a minute. So he's basically doing like a load failure and then a volume failure after it.
Pretty much.
So he's combining the two systems. When most people do, most people do one or the other.
But there's loads of nuance in the way he gets you to move the weight. So it's like he was just making everything more efficient, harder. but trying to make me stronger. It's kind of everything in one. It was really good.
I think people are on him a lot about his movements.
People completely misunderstand what he says. Just like JP, everyone thinks JP's all about just train heavy as possible, get strong.
Yeah.
And then Joe's very much always kind of goes on about the execution.
Yeah. They're
both saying the same thing.
Yeah.
People think Joe's all about execution and JP's all about load. If you listen to what JP said, he's very much about the execution.
Yeah.
Getting stronger, and so is Joe. They're very much the same in terms of their mindset of training.
Okay, but wait a minute. I don't understand that, because when I look at JP's training, I see someone who's insane and just lifting like all load all the time.
Yeah, that's all he films, though. That's not all he does. He doesn't film.
Yeah.
Just like I don't.
Yeah.
Just if you look at some of Joe's videos, he's squatting 5 plates, or he's doing rack pulls of 6, 7 plates.
Yeah, but more often than not, he's doing like.
Yeah, but that's that's just teaching people movement.
It's the Instagram world. Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's.
But like Jordan.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think there's a time and a place for everything. You should do the heavy stuff. You should do everything else as well.
Yeah. But I see people get on him a lot about his movements.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why do you do that? That's stupid. Why? It's like, I understand that it's not all he's doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if somebody can teach you something new, why be closed-minded about it?
I agree. Some of what he does is fluffy, and he agrees. But it's like, but that's not the only thing you're doing in a session.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, so if you've just done a heavy chest workout and everything's like 4 or 5 plate incline barbell, like heavy dumbbell press, heavy machine press, and then he gets used to do something fluffy at the end. That fluffy at the end is probably going to be the most painful thing of the session. Yeah,
yeah, I got it.
You know,
so is he down in Florida? Is that how you hooked up with him?
He's in Tampa, yeah. He's with Redcon as well.
So. Everybody's in Florida now, eh?
I guess so.
Well, it just seems like people are moving to Florida, and like that's where the bodybuilding.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Mecca is.
Yeah, I'm actually going to Florida next week. So.
How long are you staying there for?
About a week. I think it's.
Are you training at the new? Oh, you're going to the new Redcon gym.
Yeah, we're going for the open day though.
Why did they do that? They got sick of using Flex's gym?
No, I just think they had an opportunity because all the Redcon staff trained in this one gym down the road from the warehouse, and it was up for sale, so Aaron just thought, I'll buy it.
Oh.
Redcon gym, and then
so it just happened by chance.
It was. I think knowing Aaron, knowing he's a big fan, I think he's always wanted a gym.
Yeah.
But it's just opening one from scratch is hard. He's busy man, and then one just kind of the one that he trained at. I think it came up for sale. He put an offer in, got it. I guess.
Do you know if he repainted all like red? Like
yeah,
red?
No, he's redone the whole thing. He's refurbished the whole thing. So
must be fun. Must be nice.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to going to train. He's handpicked a lot of the equipment. Like it's really old equipment.
I like the old shit better sometimes.
Yeah, he's found a lot of the old stuff. Like,
I was at Dorian's gym recently. They have an old T-bar. It's just literally just like the platform and the bar.
Yeah. And
then they have the new Arsenal one.
Yeah.
And I swear I like the old one better.
Yeah, I don't like the Arsenal one.
The Arsenal one's tricky. It's like, it's weird the way it feels like it's pulling you forward a bit.
Yeah. See, I just like having the landmine again in the wall, like bolt down.
I do both. I do both. I don't know why. Sometimes if I just want to like grip it and rip it, then I'm like, okay, put the anvil in the corner, do it off the ground. But I feel like I get a better range of motion, I'd say, if I'm on the platform.
I've got these handles that actually put your hands flush with where the plates are, so they're the same no matter what plates you use.
I see. Okay.
So it's not too bad. But normally you're right because the handles are a lot smaller, so the plates are like here where your hands are.
Yeah.
So the plates hit you in the chest way before your range is complete.
Yeah.
But we have the handles I had them made, and they're a bit longer.
Yeah.
So that flush with the plates would look like a 40.
When are you going to start training again?
I was going to go today, but then the hospital thing came up. It was just like an hour drive away, so it kind of fucked up the whole day.
So wait a minute, I got other news. Aren't you? What are we doing with your? Did we talk about your coach?
No.
Do you want to talk about that?
Well, my coach is Chris.
You're working with Chris?
Yeah, I'm still with Chris.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were still working with Chris or not.
Oh, yeah, I'm still with Chris. I'm just not at the moment. So I don't need Chris at the moment.
Oh, so you're doing your own off-season shit?
Yeah, I normally do. I just kind of send him pictures every now and then until I'm too fat, or I'll just tell him what I'm eating, and he'll just kind of like say how you're getting on.
Oh, okay.
Because the one thing I know how to do is grow muscle.
Yeah.
And I just kind of need him to tell me.
You just don't know how to get in shape.
Yeah. I've done that twice.
Sorry, you left the door open there. I couldn't help it.
But so Chris, I don't plan to go anywhere else. So
All right, let's hit a couple of these questions. I just put them in. I got some questions on the YouTube, and
Let's do it.
I sorted them by top comments, not newest first. So we'll see what we have here. But the first one, it's kind of long, so I want you to just hear it out because
Okay.
I need help. I'm skinny. I'm I'm skinny. We shouldn't laugh. Should we laugh? We shouldn't laugh at them, should we?
Yeah, it's all right. Let's just laugh. Let's go.
I'm skinny, and I got tired of always being called skinny. In quotes, you don't eat, etc. So I started working out, assuming that I'll help. But I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting to where I want. I want to be thicker instead of skinny. I eat 5 eggs in the morning with a hot dog and a protein shake every day. Been doing that for a while now and still haven't seen any weight gain. I don't know if it's my metabolism or what. I just want
So is that all he eats?
I don't know. I read it. I'm like, well, who fucking told them to eat a hot dog? I want to know where the hot dog came from.
5 eggs and a hot dog and a protein shake. That's a good breakfast, to be honest. I'll do that.
Wait, seriously, who ever prescribed a hot dog? I want to know where the fuck that came from.
I don't know. It's a good idea. But why is he just eating that at breakfast, and then what's he doing for the rest of the day?
I don't know. He didn't say anything. He thinks maybe just.
I mean, if you do that 6 times a day, I guarantee you'll get bigger.
No, he won't. There's no carbs in it.
Yeah, it's the bun.
Oh, if he eats the bun with the hot dog.
It depends if he's eating the bun or not. Add the bun. Add the bun. Yeah.
That's the answer. Okay. That's
the
answer.
The bun and do that 5 to 6 times a day.
Okay. All right. Let me see here. Bodybuilding. Is it size and open bodybuilding more important than other factors? Seems like they're judging based on the size only.
Well, the top 3 at the Olympia were some of the smaller guys on stage. What are you talking about?
I think it's because some of these guys look at the classic guys and they see their structure and they see how like conditioned they are, and they think it's just size, but they're not comparing apples to apples. Like, obviously, it's not size. You're right, because Brandon, Bonac, and Hottie were not the biggest guys in the show.
No.
And then Dexter was 4th. Also, they're not the biggest bodies up there. So
not even close. So it's whoever has the best combination of everything.
What was your most embarrassing moment at the gym?
Shit in my pants, probably.
I was just gonna say you probably shit your pants.
Yeah, I didn't tell anyone. I was really annoyed.
You didn't tell anyone?
No, I didn't want to. Just what do you mean? I didn't tell you. I don't want to film my pants. Like, oh, guys, just let you know I've shat myself.
Wait a minute. Did you like shart or did you fucking shit your pants?
It's a bit in between. It was in between. It was I was pretty unwell.
Did you leave or did you stay and finish the workout?
No, I think I went and just took my underpants off, have a little wash, put them in the bin, cracked on, I think.
And you finished your workout?
Yeah.
That's hardcore, buddy.
Well, I did. I shouldn't have trained. I was probably, when you're when you're kind of first into it, and you think, I can't miss anything. I have to be 100%. Otherwise, I'll just be tiny. I was like that. And but then before you know it, get ill. Don't want to miss any time off the gym. Train through it, straining while doing a lift.
It happens.
It does happen, and it hasn't happened since because I know now. I've lesson learned. You got answered that as well.
Mine was before I met my wife. I tried to talk to this girl. She was doing calf raises.
Yeah.
So I walk over to try and talk to her, and you don't really talk to girls at the gym. Like, it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't always work.
No, I don't.
So I walk over, and I swear to God, she kept doing calf raises just so I wouldn't talk to her. It's like I was just standing there waiting. Like, I was kind of like, it was so awkward, man. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm standing there, and I'm like, I don't want to interrupt her. But at the same time, I'm like, now I'm standing here. I can't just walk away because I look even dumber. So I stood there waiting for her to finish her set, and I swear she just kept going. She would do like a drop set, and I'm like, I think she's waiting for me to leave. So I just walked away eventually, and that was probably my most, to me, to you, it probably doesn't sound like anything. To me, it was one of my fucking worst moments ever. Because I'm like,
it's probably not as bad as shitting your pants, mate. So
no, well, if there's people watching you, like my boys are watching.
She might have just been doing a massive. She might have just thought you were waiting for the machine.
No, because I kind of saw her look over, keep doing her thing.
Oh, so, okay.
So,
yeah. I'm picturing this thing now. She's looked over, and you caught her looking. She's actually just been like, what is he?
At this point, I'm like 3 or 4 feet away from her.
How
Like,
big? How big were you?
I was probably 280, 290.
Yes, you're a big dude. She's probably like, that's horrendous. And you're she's giving me the eyes. So you just go. So you kind of waddle over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just stand there breathing and sweating really heavily.
That's right.
And she just carries on.
Yeah. And I'm like, but I know she looked and saw me there and didn't stop. And I'm like,
that is quite brutal.
It's like,
did you hang your head and kind of skulk off?
The worst part was my boys were watching me because I'm like, watch this. I'm like, watch this. And then it was like just a fucking fail.
Amazing.
Yeah. So no, I never shit my pants. I wouldn't.
You probably have once or twice in your life. I think everyone has. It's just one of those things that no one wants to admit.
Well, not at the gym. I've shit my pants, just not at the gym.
Yeah, well, mine was just a sharp, but a little bit more because I was well. So, that.
I'd rather shit my pants than get rejected by a chick.
Yeah, same. I think you won that story.
You know
There's no one knew except for me.
Yeah, see, you could just hide it.
It was only embarrassing for me.
Yeah, everybody was watching me. So
there was a girl at my old gym once. She was wearing yellow leggings.
Yeah. And
she just had a big brown smear right in her ass crack.
No, I saw that once too.
I don't think anyone told her. I don't think she realized, but she would have had to have realized at one point when she got home.
Yeah.
But she was training her legs, so every time she went down to squat, you just saw this like just little.
I saw that once too. There was an older lady, and she had like those asses that go in, like it's like her back, it's just like her lower back went like it, and then, but you could see like a little smudge.
Oh.
And I'm like, and she was wearing white, like tight shorts, and I'm like, oh god. And she had an innie ass and this little brown spot. And I'm like, oh, this the whole thing.
That's awful.
Yeah. Anyway, Body of Legend says coming to terms with taking gear for the first time and not knowing if it will negatively affect your body and destroy your life. I'm not sure.
What do you mean?
That's a topic, not a question.
That's a really, really extreme. Like, wait. So read it again.
Yeah.
Read it again.
Coming to terms with taking gear for the first time and not knowing if it will negatively affect your body and destroy your life.
See, I don't know what he means there. It sounds
he's saying. I think he's saying.
It sounds like he's already started.
Yeah.
In terms of the fact he's ruined his own life.
Yeah, he's like already decided that it's going to destroy him. So I guess we should talk about the fact that it's not going to destroy you, and you can fucking do it in a healthy way so that it doesn't fuck you up.
I think everyone takes too much.
I got to tell you this something. I got a guy on the podcast in 2 days. His name's Mike, and he works at the Instagram page is at the research station. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
This guy does videos on all different types of gear and SARMs and everything.
Should I edit? Should I
Dude, I'm telling you, go watch the videos. He does a whole bunch of IGTV videos. And all he talks about, which is it's fascinating. He does like a whole series on trend and a whole series on SARMs. It's at the research station. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if there's like an underscore or not.
Right.
Yeah, it's the _research _station.
The _research
_station.
This is good radio, isn't it? It's good podcast.
Well, no, it is good because
I follow back. He already follows me. Nice.
Because it is good because the people that are watching this can go there and check it out. This guy, if you watch his videos, says we're all taking way too much shit.
Yes, and I agree with that.
No. Not like me and you talk about it. He's like, your maximum test dose should be 500 milligrams.
I kind of agree.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't go over that for the last 18 months.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to go into specifics because I don't know if I'm allowed. But I think for the Arnold, my total was about 12 to 1400, including orals.
Everything. See, that's what this guy's talking about.
And this is when with Chris, because sometimes when he tells me, he's like, "Do this," I'm like, "Is that a joke?" He's like, "No, do that." I'm like, "Okay," and it works. And I felt really good.
Yeah.
I felt like, I know I've said I did fade off at the end, but I still managed like fucking 10 months solid.
Oh, of course, yeah.
When I was at Tampa, that was a long time. I still held
No. But wait a minute, we're not talking about the.
No, what I mean is that everyone takes so much that it gets to the point where their body breaks down and just cannot handle it.
listen, I'll be honest with you, and a lot of you guys are going to want to hear this because this is fucking no bullshit. My sweet spot is 1250, and that's not for everything. That's just for test.
Yeah.
Okay, that's generally where I
But
lie.
if when you add more shit to it, is it better or does nothing really happen?
No, it feels better, but this is the thing. All the negative side effects that come with it. And I'm not talking about gyno and fucking hair loss. And I'm talking about night sweats, psychosis, fucking anxiety, blood pressure, like things, your kidney levels, like shit that gets way out of whack.
Yeah.
The way, if you listen to these IGTV videos, he makes it sound like Tren is poison. Like he's talking about, he said something in there, I think his dose daily, he said it's best to do 7 days a week. And he's talking about 25 to 50 milligrams a day.
Yeah.
And he said it's better if you do 7 days a week.
But his dosages sound very.
And he thinks Tren E is like, never take Tren E.
Well, I mean, it sounds like he's on kind of the same wave level as I've kind of been last year. And I'm not saying I'm not being all high and mighty here. I just do
I get it.
I just do what Chris told me. And I wasn't expecting it to work as well as it did. And a lot of the people I work with, I give them fuck all, and it works really well.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like there's a point where if you go too high, it affects your performance and it starts affecting your recovery because you feel like shit. So you don't sleep so well. You're getting night sweats.
This is how
so much happens, and it's like I always say to people, if you feel like you're not on anything, but you feel good, then that's enough.
Yeah.
As soon as you start feeling shit or anything I can feel, I don't want to use it.
I'll tell you this. I don't want to butcher his IGTV because he obviously explains it in a way that he knows the fuck he's talking about. But basically, he does one on dosing. And he's like, all your shit goes into a funnel and it has to be pushed through your liver. And he goes, all this extra shit you're doing is just gone to waste or it sits in your fatty tissue and is toxic. Yeah.
And Chris actually, one of the things he said if you use too much, it's harder to get in shape.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Chris never did my stack.
Okay.
We never discussed that. Chris just did my nutrition. And I don't know if it wasn't my choice. He just never brought it up and I never really brought it up. And that's how it was. But anyway, I got this guy on the podcast and I find it fascinating that he's not telling people not to do juice. He's like, look, you guys are going to do it. I'm going to teach you to do it the best way possible for you.
Do you know what as well? One of the things that I think everyone needs to hear as well is, do you think, well, actually, just go off topic, do you think the reason why people use so much is because the people selling it are telling them to use that much?
Not everybody. Some people.
No, not everyone. But then, or do you also think everything's a bit underdosed and people are using?
Well, that's a definite. The one thing these guys told me. I spoke to them on the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mention any name. They didn't tell me any names, so I can't mention any names. But they said, I'll put it this way. They said like 90% of the labs they tested had something wrong with them. 90%. And they tested over 100 labs.
Damn.
And they have a lab to test this shit. It's not like a bathroom sink testing kit. Yeah. It's like, they said that out of 100 labs, like 90% were fucking shit. Or had something wrong with them. Either they were underdosed or they had some kind of virus in them, or they were made in they were dirty, they weren't clean or whatever. Like so yeah, I think for sure part of it is that like somebody may think they're taking 600 milligrams of Tren and they're really taking 3. That's definitely a possibility. But I think there's a lot of people, like you said, that don't know what they're doing and they watched like somebody's YouTube video or their buddy told them to take 1,000 milligrams, so they do. But I think there's people like me, like when I started at like 500, I think was my starting point. And then I guess it's just common sense would think that you have to, as you get bigger, you have to go up.
Yeah.
So I kept going, and I actually reached a level that I'm not happy with. And it didn't. And so I came back from that level.
I actually think it's quite a nice surprise when you find out you don't need as much.
No, it was because I went to 2000 at one point.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it long. It was like 3 or 4 months, but I'm like, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
I feel like shit. I look like a water bag. I'm not any stronger than I was at 1500 or.
Yeah. So
I realized that, and the guy that I talked to on Wednesday for our podcast is probably going to tell me a moron for doing what I did. But
Yeah, probably.
when I came back to 1250, I felt healthier and I felt
Yeah.
just as strong as I was at 2000.
Yeah, and I mean, I've tried to push the envelope a few times just to see. You need to know for certain. Actually,
Yeah.
what happened? Nothing happened.
No.
I mean, I don't really get many signs anyway. I'm quite lucky. My blood work didn't get any worse, but I just thought I just don't feel great.
Let me tell you.
Sluggish, and then since I've been with Chris, everything has been so conservative. Like the stuff you hear Dorian did. And when you hear Dorian's Olympus cycle, everyone's like, "It's bullshit."
Yeah.
I pretty much just copy that now for my shows, and it works just fine. And it's easy to get in shape. You feel fresh, and I think a lot of the time, people feel so shitty the last few weeks of prep. It's because they think the leaner I get, the closer to the show I get, the more drugs I have to throw at myself.
No, that's the opposite of what I do.
Yeah, but a lot of people do that.
I know.
Push their trend up. They'll start adding fucking X, Y, Z into the equation, and it's like I don't. But I think that contributes so much to you feeling like shit more than you just the diet, the cardio, and you being tired. You put that on top of it, your body's just a fucking just all over the shop. And it's just not a nice place. It's not a nice way to feel. And your body cannot be processing things as efficiently as it should be. How can your body be burning body fat as efficiently as you want it to?
Yeah,
it's processing that amount of drugs.
But it's not even just the way he explains it. Like, I really want you to go watch it. And I'm going to. I'm telling you guys out there, if you're listening, go watch this guy's IGTV. And he takes on clients too. And I'm not trying to sell. I'm not getting anything out of this. I was really, really blown away at the way he explained it, because there's been many times where people have said to me, "Oh yeah, man, you got to take less. You don't need that much." Yeah. But they never explained why. Yeah. And when he actually puts it out there in a biological terms, it says, "This is what your liver does. This is what your liver can handle. This is what your body," you kind of go, "Holy fuck, what have I been doing all this time?"
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he sounds like he's one of those like people like Dante Trudell who just explains things so simply, but very advanced, but so everyone can understand it.
Yeah. So you can't.
It's like it's like what somebody said to me once. It's like a pint glass can only take a pint. It can't take any more. That's the same idea.
Yeah.
So once you start putting more in, it doesn't fill.
It doesn't do anything.
It just doesn't do anything.
But it's even worse, because the way he explains it, you almost think to yourself, "I'm actually growing less by doing more, because my body's not using everything properly."
No, exactly, and that's something I feel like I've learned a lot since being with Chris, and that's something really valuable I've learned with Chris.
Yeah.
That I'm not saying less is more, but more is certainly not better.
But it sounds like less is more. Like when I heard him say 500 was like the max for your test dose, I was like, "What the fuck?"
But then again, going back to the argument, that 1250 you're taking might be half dosed. It can be 500. You don't know.
Yeah.
That's why it feels so good.
So I don't think so, but it's always possible.
I know. But it's I think the people like that who are putting out this kind of education. Like, I don't really like talking about gear too much. Yeah. Mostly because people just don't believe us.
I don't care if they believe it, because you know what? This is what the realization I've come to, because I get the emails.
Yeah.
There's 25% that think we're completely full of shit.
Yeah.
There's like 50% that like are on the fence, and there's 25% that are like, "Yeah, you know what? I trust them."
But the thing is like there's no agenda to lie about it.
No, I know, but my point is, like, if 10 people are listening and 4 people believe me, I'm good. That's fine.
Yeah, I agree. But if the other 6 people think we're talking shit,
I don't care.
And we're like, but why? What do they think we're lying about?
But I don't give a shit. Go follow Tony Huge. Buy all his SARMs. Oh, dude, you got to watch his fucking thing on SARMs. If you watch his thing on SARMs, you're like, your mind is like fucking.
I know nothing about SARMs.
I don't either, but when I watch this thing, it's like even worse than I thought.
The only thing I know about SARMs and peptides is everyone that bangs on about how good they are have fuck all muscle. So I'm good.
I think Evan said that to me. Evan said that to me once. Yeah.
It's the thing is like, yeah, if you mix this peptide and this is incredible. So why are you not big then?
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, I'm gonna have him on the podcast. I'm gonna ask him like. Yeah,
I'm just following this page, so I'm gonna look at
a million questions. So.
I think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting. I think it's like. You know, the other thing that this is funny. Why I was so like, less is works way better.
Yeah,
it's less money, isn't it? You
know? But you know what? I don't know if that counts for GH. I want to ask him about that.
For me, it does. Okay, I'm gonna be very honest here. I've pushed up to 10 pharma before, quite
Yeah.
recently. And
Yeah.
I felt fucking shit.
Really?
Nothing happened. I could barely keep my eyes open. It just made me look and feel like shit.
I went to
But I didn't get any benefits. I didn't get leaner. I didn't get bigger. I didn't get fuller. I just looked worse and felt worse. And so for me, 3 to 4 is plenty.
Can I tell you
Because
something?
I don't think it fucking does anything. I don't think it builds muscle.
Okay, let me tell you something really embarrassing. Okay,
Yeah.
So the pharma kits are 18 IUs per vial that I get.
Yeah.
So I got up to 9,
Right.
and I felt great.
Right.
I was eating like 2,000 calories, which is nothing, but my muscle all looked full and round.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I was sleepy, and I was like, I had all that shit going on, like all that was there, but muscularly, I felt great.
Yeah.
So like I usually cut it out like a week before the show.
Yeah.
So the week before I cut it out, I had like X amount of vials left. So it's like, I'm going to see what happens if I just do the whole thing. So I did the whole,
Right.
Nothing happened. I just want to say I did the whole thing. So I'm embarrassed to say I did go up to 60 or 18 IU for 1 week.
Yeah.
That's the highest I've ever gone. It was only for that.
I just think it's one of those things like insulin, and this is a big thing. And this is going to probably think people are going to think I'm talking shit. It doesn't build muscle.
Oh, I hate fucking insulin. Don't get me started on
It
insulin.
doesn't build muscle. Growth hormone does not build muscle. I'm telling you this because.
But growth hormone does keep you full.
Yeah. So again, as I just said, it's another cosmetic drug. So.
But wait a minute.
This is my view on GH.
But wait a second. I want to ask you a question. Doesn't GH build satellite cells?
Supposedly, but in the real world, does it really? Like there's a lot of things scientifically that on paper that are supposed to do a certain thing, but in reality, it doesn't really. Like EQ, does it ever make you hungry?
No.
There you go, right? But on paper, it's supposed to ramp everyone's appetite.
Oh, wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Don't change the subject. So, if you're building satellite cells, you can't say I don't believe the science.
No, I'm not saying I don't believe the science, but I'm saying it's not enough to warrant using it. It's not.
No,
it's not noticeable. It doesn't do much.
It's noticeable, but not till you build those satellite cells.
Okay, so let me just go.
Okay. Go on. Go ahead.
The thing with GH, I think that the higher you go on dosages, you're just burning money. I think a smaller dose. I think what it does is cosmetically, you're fuller around it, keeps you a little bit tighter, you recover better. If you're recovering better and you're sleeping better, you'll grow faster.
Okay.
So that's just a byproduct. But I don't think it just builds muscle. I don't think it's the holy grail. I don't think more is better. I just think it's one of those things that if you use a small amount for a very long period, it has like a benefit in terms of like how you look and feel. But anything higher than 6, I think is a waste, in my opinion.
Okay, I'll give you my honest opinion. I think 6 is the best number of pharma. Yep. I think if you're dieting for a show, going up can help, only because it honestly going to 9 helped me. I felt rounder. So like you said, it's just cosmetic. It's just cosmetic. It's
exactly.
Not,
this is what I'm saying. So I think I think it's the same with insulin.
Yeah.
Insulin is another thing that's cosmetic.
No, but I do.
Yeah. You have to have the muscle there already for it to do anything.
But I do disagree with you on the fact that GH can build muscle. And I don't think it builds muscle in the same way that testosterone does. But I think if you're building new satellite cells.
Do you mean like the hyperplasia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're building new satellite cells, those are going to grow eventually.
I've heard
like what I'm saying. Like this is probably
I've heard the hyperplasia thing only occurs when you're of a certain age. That's another thing I've heard, which is very, very young.
Oh, okay.
Which is why they give it to kids who have the pituitary disorders. This is what I mean. That's just something that I. But in Dan Duchesne's book, because Dan Duchesne, I think his book's still very good for these days. He re-released the book again just so he could change his whole mind on GH, and he basically says all athletes and bodybuilders use it purely out of paranoia because all bodybuilders and athletes.
Because everybody else is using it, yeah.
Exactly. I wouldn't take it out because I'd be too worried to be like, well, it might help. But it's I don't think it's a holy grail. I don't think it's like if you can all of a sudden if you can get pharma, I don't expect all of a sudden to just be like, whoa.
I think it's more of I think the best benefit of GH is the fullness aspect.
Which is cosmetic.
Cosmetic. I agree with you.
But you have to have the muscle there to begin with.
That's right. But the reason I say that is I did the Dallas Europa in 2014 without it.
Yeah.
And it was probably the most shredded I ever was.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
I turned pro without it.
Yeah. So I don't. You're right. I don't think it's the holy grail, but I think if you're dieting, it allows you. And you can tell me if you think this is wrong, but I feel like it allows you to diet on a little less calories than you could if you didn't have it.
No, I would agree with that as well. But again,
so it has a muscle sparing aspect to it.
So the only point I'm saying here is it doesn't build muscle to the level that people think. It doesn't. Everything you've just said is nothing to do with building
to
muscle.
To the level that you think.
All the positive points you said, like, oh, but when you're in prep, it helps you retain that fullness. Again, that's not building muscle.
I agree.
So I think it's one of those things. It's like
But you know what? I agree with you the whole time because I usually don't take as much in the off season.
Yeah, I just used like 2 or 3. It's mostly just so I sleep better and recover from training. So.
Yeah, I just like the full feeling I get from it.
Yeah, and also you don't get quite as fat.
And I think
it's cosmetic.
I think the paranoia thing too might play into effect. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like you have to have it just because.
Because he when he said he tested it, when he wrote the book initially, I think I'm obviously paraphrasing everything he said, but he basically got to the point where he says, GH is incredible. But then in the second book, he's like, I said that based on what everyone was telling me, but at that point, I hadn't personally tested it. It does fuck all.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. Well,
so, I mean, it's like insulin. It's like insulin. If you look at Milos, he talks about it openly on all these podcasts. I love Milos. He's a good friend of mine. It's everything he does with insulin is purely cosmetic.
Yeah, of course. It's just filling you out for a show or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, with muscle, you have muscle that's muscle, and then you have the kind of storage muscle, which is like the sarcoplasmic volume, and I think it just increases that, not actual muscle. It might be able to increase the storage capacity of the muscle, which again isn't real muscle, but it looks like it. So again, it's cosmetic.
If anybody wants a cautionary tale, don't fucking insulin is, I think, what made my stomach grow. But I want to correct that with not the insulin itself, but the food I had to eat to match the insulin.
Yeah, well, I've never been a big insulin guy ever.
I did it for 1 year because this coach I had at the time was like, we should do this, whatever. So I did. After that year, I never did it again. I'm like, this is just fucking shit. I look like shit. I look fat. My stomach's thicker. I'm not going to do it anymore.
I just think it is very person dependent. Like Ben, I think it depends on how well your body stores nutrients.
Yeah.
So like some people just burn. This is what somatotypes are, like endomorphs, ectomorphs, blah blah blah. I think you either store nutrients, you burn nutrients, and the way you store them is either fat or muscle, preferentially.
I see. Okay.
So some people like Ben, he just burns through tissue. He just burns through calories. He finds it really hard to grow. He doesn't store much.
Yeah.
So when he uses insulin, it increases his storage capacity. But luckily for him, he stores the majority of it.
That's right.
Muscle in his muscle.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people, like if I were to use a lot more insulin, I think I would just get fat.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah. So, and it's again because that's just the way my body is.
The thing is this: if I got fat in the off season from it, but I was still gaining muscle, I wouldn't care. But the thing is this: if I start at like 5 IUs pre-workout, right? Mm-hmm. My pump is awesome for like the first day, second day, third day. Yeah. Then I got to go to 8 IUs. Then I got to go to 10 IUs. Yeah. I don't want to be doing fucking 20, 30, 40 IUs of fucking.
That.
So anything where it's like, I'm only going to get 10 good days or 20 good days out of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to fucking do it.
I think this is one of those things. It's like, it's quite a good thing if you want a very high carb day in your off season, a couple of times a week, maybe. If you're trying to push the food on those days, but to use it every day, I think it's a bit.
Yeah, so, I can agree with you there.
Again, it depends how you're using it, because some people use it medicinally to help. Because if somebody uses high carbs anyway, and that's what they have to do to grow, their pancreas is taking a pounding from that.
Can I ask you a separate question? What do you think about the long-acting insulin, not Humulin R, but the 24-hour dose?
Oh, Lantus. I've never used it.
Never used it, because a lot of guys swear by that.
Yeah, a lot of guys do. But again, if this goes back to what I was just saying, if somebody just like they have a very high tolerance for carbs, and for them to grow, they need a very high carb diet.
Yeah, that
person's pancreas is working its arse off all day. Eventually, it's going to burn out.
Yeah.
So for those people, if they want to introduce insulin to the diet they're already doing, just to help their body out a little bit, I think that's different. That's kind
of what I meant by the 24-hour, because then your pancreas is like got to help all day long.
Yeah, so I think maybe in that respect it can help. Again, it's kind of a different thing. You're already eating the food anyway. You're just trying to help your body out. You're not relying on the insulin to grow or whatever.
I was gonna try that for a little while. I tried it for a couple of days. I'm like, I can't do this diet because you have to take like zero fat.
Yeah.
You have to do like not zero, but a very low fat diet.
Yep.
And I couldn't just do fucking egg whites and chicken and fish and rice all day long. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
See, I prefer a very balanced diet in the off season.
yeah.
Actually, I mean, in fact, we've discussed this before. Chris had you very low fat, didn't he?
Chris had me low fat. Yeah.
I've always had quite high fat. So I always had a salmon meal, a steak meal, and whole eggs in my diet.
But not the added fats, though. That's the thing.
Well, I still have peanut butter sometimes on some days.
Oh, okay. So, see, that's the thing. John uses a lot of added fats.
He does, yeah.
A lot of coconut oils, a lot of peanut butters, a lot of avocados, stuff like that. So, next question. We'll go. We didn't even answer this guy's question. He's gonna destroy his life. We didn't even help him.
If it's gonna destroy your life, don't fucking do it, you moron. What do you mean? Like, I'm gonna take drugs because muscles are so cool. I'm this willing to ruin your life over. Good.
Well, there you go, buddy. There's your answer. Okay. Next topic is the evolution of posing routines in the open class post Ronnie Coleman.
I suck at posing. Like,
I don't want to talk about.
I know.
Posing.
Well, this might be a good thing to touch on. This is again.
Let me finish this question. Would you like to see choreographed posing routines come back to the open class?
Yes.
Less stage pacing for crowd reaction. Why or why not?
Yes, I do. Because we're actually probably the two best people to talk about this because you're a fucking amazing poser and I shit. But are you just good at it or do you actually practice and you have a passion for it?
I never practice.
Because I don't give a shit. I find it like to me it's like training abs. I'm like, oh, I have to.
I love it. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't even love being on stage, but no, I don't love it. I think if I'm going to be out there doing a routine though, I want to do something cool.
Yeah.
So I do want to put some effort, but I kind of run through it in my head and then I just do it on stage.
That's exactly what I do, but whatever I run through in my head is obviously shit too.
It's not working.
Well, actually, I thought my Olympia routine was pretty good. To be fair, it was one of my better ones.
Yeah.
But so one of the things I always think with bodybuilders, there's kind of like two, this is so generalized, but I think there's like two camps.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of guys that their passion is the posing, the art, the presentation, the finesse. And other guys are it's all about the training and they want to be a freak.
Yeah.
It's very rare, if ever, that's combined.
I think there's three camps. There's the camp that doesn't give a shit. And I would put like you in that camp or Evan, even Dorian. Like Dorian's routine was good, but it was the same routine every year.
Yeah.
And then, that's one camp. And then there's another camp that's like the Kai Greens, the Melvin Anthonys, the Darum Charles, like the crazy.
I would put them in the presentation camp.
Yeah, they're in the separate camp, right?
No, I'd put them. That's still two, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's a third camp.
Okay, what's the third camp? Go.
Me. I don't care, but I don't want to look like an asshole either.
Well, you're an outlier. You don't care, but you're actually good.
No, I think you could put Dennis Wolf in that spot. I think you could put like Hidetada in that spot.
I think he cares.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. But you're all very good at posing, so I don't think you fit I don't think you fit in my category. But I think you're more. Yeah, I think maybe you're right. Maybe you're a third category. But I think that's something I need to focus on is the presentation side because it's like
I find it weird that it's so hard for some people. I went to John's house before his Arnold debut.
Yeah.
And we worked on his routine for like a whole night, like just like over and over. We took pictures. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
And he had it down before I left. And then on stage, he messed it up. I mean, it still looked good, but I just found it weird that he could be so good at posing like mandatories.
Yeah.
And he's just a smart person, but it just didn't flow to him. He didn't like recognize the song beats.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that, but I think it's more I'm not very.
But you're a fucking drummer, like you're a musician. How can you not hear the beat of the song?
I can hear the beat of the song. It doesn't make a fucking dance, does it?
You fucking hit a pose during the beat. It's not that.
Yeah, I do that. All of that stuff's fine. I mean, it's like I'm not very good at creating.
Oh, the transitions.
Okay. The transitions and making poses that suit me, and I just do the same 6 poses. And
all right. Well, when next time you're in Canada, I'll help you.
Well, I've got a friend of mine over here, Owen. He was going to help me for the Olympia.
Doesn't that what's his name, Samson? Isn't he like?
He's very good. Yeah. I think Owen's better because Owen's a classic guy. He was going to help me for the Olympia, but there was a lot of things happening on the last few weeks. I just couldn't get to see him because he lives about 4
I'm gonna
hours.
fucking piss myself laughing. You start posing like a classic guy.
Oh, but the thing is, occasionally, if you hit if you hit a shot, if you're like a bigger guy like me, and you
I
hit
know.
a shot,
I know.
it looks fucking cool occasionally.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. If you do, I will fucking die because you're like went from like shit to like now you're hitting
That's what I want to do is I kind of want to, because like this year I kind of reinvented myself a little bit by having a vacuum.
Yeah, you did.
And being bigger and being a bit different.
That bothered me a lot, by the way.
And then next year, I want the vacuum's going to be way better. If I can guarantee it, it's going to be like Bumstead. You're going to be able to see my fucking.
Yeah, Bumstead. You're going to have a Bumstead.
You're going to be able to see my kidneys from the front. And then I want to reinvent myself again by having just a tiny midsection and bring all those body parts. I think that's the cool thing with bodybuilding is every year you can reinvent yourself in a certain way, but it doesn't have to be building more muscle.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're not going to have a Bumstead stomach.
No, I'm not, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
My vacuum's pretty good, but
where is that? Like, where does that guy's fucking organs go? I don't even know how that's fucking possible.
Into his giant rib cage.
I guess. Fuck.
Like the person that made me want to do a vacuum was Jason Hart.
Yeah. You know why? Because it's cool to see it on Bumstead. His vacuum's great, but when you see a guy that weighs fucking 300 pounds do it, it's like holy. Did you see
Rolly did it? Did you see the Rolly?
Yeah, Rolly's is coming. Yeah. You know what? The same place I got my waist trainer is the same girl that gave him his, and she said that's from wearing his waist trainer she recommends 4 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah, this is what I think I'm going to start doing.
And she said that's what he did, and that's why he's able to do that now.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to start doing.
But all it does is give me a backache.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you're just going to have to fucking just pace through it. You know?
Well, I think the thing is I have to learn how to – I think you still have to practice your vacuums while you're doing that. So it all works. Yeah. And I have to stop eating large pizzas. That might have something to do with it.
That's pretty much what I've done the last 3 weeks. Every night is just eat whatever I want.
Can you do a vacuum right now?
Yeah. Or not right now. But in the mornings I can. Yeah, just fine.
Even after eating all that shit?
Yeah, just fine. Yeah, it's just not. It just doesn't go in as far like it did at the other day. Okay. But it's I just think it's like those things, and you can just change. You can make massive changes to how you look just by changing little things like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Like my stomach is the puzzle to my whole physique. Yeah. Because when I'm like, this is the thing. I could look great, like the fucking Arnold 2017 is a perfect example. Yeah. I was shredded, I looked great, and then I fucking carb loaded, and my stomach got blown out.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck, right? So yeah, it's the key to the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. It's like the centerpiece for your physique, which is why I want to get this kind of surgery done. I want to get it all cleaned up so it looks how I want it to look. I can train it. You can.
I wish I never got my hernia surgery though.
Well, my hernia surgery is done.
No, I know it's not the same thing. I'm just saying, like my.
Where was yours? Where was yours?
Where?
Yeah.
My belly button, but I also had a second one, like at the top of my abs.
Okay, that's what mine is. Yeah, the epigastric.
Yeah. So, but I haven't been able to control my stomach the same since I got it done.
Oh, really?
Which sounds.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, so this guy also quit playing with your mic. It's giving me like an echo. Like a.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't care, but they're going to complain in the comments.
It was complain anyway. Fuck me.
Oh, by the way, I saw your fucking video with the lawnmower. Dude, what the fuck?
It's just a normal lawnmower, man.
No, it's not normal at all.
It's just a fly mower. What are you talking about?
You deserve to get made fun of for that lawnmower, man.
It's just a fucking lawnmower, man. It cut the grass just fine.
Somebody sent it to me. Somebody sent me a photo so I could see it because I hadn't seen it. And I was like, oh my God.
It doesn't have wheels. It's just like, it's like a little Hoover. It's like a vacuum cleaner. It's just like vacuums. It's got the blade underneath and then it sucks with the
you should never, ever get rid of that thing. Ever. That's the...
Well, I'm actually I'm moving house soon. I'm going to see 2 houses on Friday and they both have fucking massive gardens. I'm going to have to get a new lawnmower.
Get a riding lawnmower.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like a proper American, like Texas style.
Okay, this guy's other question is, create a perfect prototype of a bodybuilder using the best body parts from various bodybuilders of all time.
See, I don't think that works.
Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, Ronnie Coleman
with Lee Priest's waist.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Done.
Done. But yeah, I don't think that works because there's so many bodybuilders out there, and I always use Flex Lewis as an example. That his physique is incredible, and Sean Roden. Their physiques are incredible, but they have a ton of missing body parts.
Yeah. No, Flex Lewis doesn't have missing body parts, does he?
No, he does if you break each individual body part.
Okay, tell me which one he's missing.
His back.
No, he brought
But
that
yeah,
up.
yeah, but no, listen. So his rear double is incredible. His rear lat spread isn't, because he doesn't have much going on with his back. His rear double is so detailed because of his arms and his forearms. His forearms are so overdeveloped, but for some reason they make everything look good. His chest isn't very good, but it doesn't make it. It doesn't.
I'll give you the chest. That's it. I won't give you
his chest, but then he has some body parts that are kind of overdeveloped, but it makes everything look better.
I always tell people it's not about the best proportions. It's about.
No, it's not.
I always think the guys with the biggest extremities look the best.
Yeah. So Flex, if he just stands there, you wouldn't be like, "Whoa, his back's insane."
No,
you wouldn't think much. But when he hits a rear double, it's incredible. He has one of the best rear doubles of all time, but he doesn't have a very strong back.
I don't agree with you.
Go look at his rear lat spread, because I always say this: most bodybuilders either have a good rear double or a good rear lat spread. Very rare is it both of them that are good, and it's normally the people with very good backs have bad rear doubles.
I got a very good back, and I got a good rear double.
But your rear lat spread's nowhere near as good as your rear double.
Yeah. No, it's not. You're right.
See, look at Dorian. Look at me. My rear lat spread is really good. My rear double's not. So Dorian's rear double is nowhere near as good as his rear lat spread.
No, you're right.
So anyone that has it's just, I find that the rear double is kind of like an arms and traps pose.
But I got shit arms.
Yeah, but they're nice. But they look good. They look really nice. There's all like the lines that kind of flow. It flows together because it flows across the top. But look at Dallas. Dallas had a really bad back.
Yeah,
his rear double is insane.
You're making some sense. I'm not convinced yet.
If you go and look at everyone, it's very rare, apart from Ronnie, that people's rear double and their rear lat spread is incredible.
All right, I got to do some research.
Phil Heath, his rear double is insane. His rear lat spread is all right. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I think Kai Green, his rear double.
His lat spread's not all right. Phil Heath's got a good lat spread,
but it's not very wide. It's not.
He's got narrow clavicles. He's got a ton of muscle in his lats. Like when his lats open up, they're thick.
Yeah, but it's still his rear double is so much better than
his rear double is better. I'll give you that.
Well, what my kind of main point is: people that are known for having the freakish back, it's normally when they do a lat spread versus.
But we're way off topic here.
Yeah.
The best physique of all time, including body parts. Like if you could mash together a bunch of body parts.
Yeah. So anyway, that kind of goes back to it. It's like it's like Sean Roden. People can say his arms and back aren't very good. Yeah. But when it all flows together, it's incredible.
Yeah, but we can still do what this guy's asking just by saying Ronnie Coleman. Is there anybody with better body parts than Ronnie Coleman?
No.
Even if you took 98 Ronnie Coleman, you'd even use his stomach.
Yeah.
Like there's not really anybody with a better back, better shoulder. I mean, maybe you could say Jay had better shoulders.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the cool thing about bodybuilding is it's not about body parts. It's like, and that's why I love Flex's physique.
It's the flow of it. Yeah.
Flex's physique looks like no one else's.
That's why people don't understand when someone says, well, we judged on the poses, this pose versus this pose and this pose versus that pose. It doesn't work like that sometimes. No. Like when you judge Phil Heath versus Sean Roden, pose for pose at the last Olympia that Sean won, Phil beats him. Because if his stomach is the only weak point, that means he's only losing 3 poses. He's going to win the other 4.
Yeah.
But that day they saw the overall package.
Yeah, it's the overall head to toe, side to side, back
look
to
better. Yeah.
Which again is like going back to Flex. It's like he has some really. His body looks nothing like anyone else's. Which is why I'm saying if he has one of the best, so I don't think his back is very thick and round and wide.
No, he's definitely like an extremities, like.
But his rear double is so impressive. But it looks it looks like no one else's. There's like muscle in his back.
There's a lot of detail in it.
There's so much detail in places you don't see it on the marks, which I think is why his rear lat spread's not the same.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But then people with slabs of muscle on their back, like Dorian, and I'd even say myself to a certain extent, I've got a big, thick, wide back.
Yeah.
In a rear double, it just doesn't.
But that's a detail thing, though. You don't have a ton of detail like Flex does.
Yeah, but like Dorian, when he did a rear double, didn't have a ton of detail in his back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think you can get detail, can't you?
I don't know if you can when your muscle's that thick in your back.
I think it's a training thing. Maybe it's because you and Dorian are both low volume guys, and Flex isn't.
But Ronnie was his rear double as detailed
Ronnie's everything. His back
And
double.
Ronnie's a freak. But like Phil, his back is so detailed as well.
But that's what I'm saying. Like maybe it's the way you train. Maybe with more volume, your back could have more detail.
Maybe you might be
I'm just saying. I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I just think it's
because I think it's interesting that you said the two people that you mentioned were you and Dorian, and both of you are low volume guys.
Yeah, maybe.
So.
But then Jay didn't have a ton of detail, and he was a very, very high volume guy.
I never felt like this is. I'm going to get fucking roasted for this, but I don't care. I never felt like Jay got super, super shredded.
No, I don't either. And like, actually, the one thing about Jay is that I always, when I was coming up in bodybuilding, he was never mentioned about his back development. Yeah, his lats were so fucking wide.
But he had to. He forced them because he knew he couldn't beat Ronnie without it.
Yeah, and like I think. Yeah, I think Jay's back is really like.
I don't think Jay's back ever would have been as big as it was if he wasn't competing against Ronnie.
No.
I think it made him focus on it like 100%.
Yeah.
But I don't ever. I mean, Jay in 09 and Jay in 01.
Yeah.
Are probably the best Jays I've ever seen, but they're still not. I don't think he ever got as shredded as like Ronnie did.
Again, I think that's just a genetic thing. I think if
we've talked about that before. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you tested their body fat, I think they'd probably be about the same.
So you think it's like a skin factor?
Oh, yeah, the skin thing, just the way the muscle looks. I think it's just various things.
Yeah. Topic. I would like you to discuss, do you feel bodybuilders in the open class have a better chance at a good placing if they have a great following on social media? No. Is it a popularity contest?
No.
I think it might be.
Fuck.
Okay. Okay, time out. I heard this argument this past Olympia,
right,
and it made me think, and I hadn't thought about this before. Somebody was like, do you think they gave it to Chris Bumstead based on the fact that he's like got 1 million followers and he's like the face of, they want to make him the face of classic?
No, I think they gave it to Chris because he looks like a classic physique, and Breon Ainsley is just a phenomenal small bodybuilder.
And I agree with you 100%.
That's why. It's called classic physique. It's not called small bodybuilder. Right, and if you look at the guys that came second and third, which was it George Peterson and Breon Ainsley? Right?
George Peterson was third, yeah.
George Peterson is now moving to the 212 because he knows he's not.
Can I actually mention something about that? Because you bring up a good point. I felt like if they're going to judge it that way, which they should, because Chris is more classic than anybody else up there.
Yes, he is.
But does that mean Keon should have been in second? The guy who took fourth.
Yeah, I think he's another one that was like put down in the places a little bit.
Yeah, but he was more classic than. Yeah.
So if you just look at the physiques, which one of you reminds you of the classic era?
That's what I'm saying. For me, it would have went Chris, and then Breon. Breon's got a classic look. I wouldn't call him a small bodybuilder.
No, he has. He does and he doesn't.
He's like in between. He's like in between.
Sean Ray, and then I think Chris Bumstead's even a little bit more further back.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see Chris Bumstead in the open class, but I could see Breon in like the 212 with another kind of 10, 15 pounds of muscle.
I could see
absolutely ridiculous.
I could see Peterson in the 212. I don't think I could see Breon.
Yeah. No, but anyway. If you put a load of muscle on Chris, I couldn't see him in the open.
Okay, so
I could see him in the 212.
I could see Chris in the open. Are you crazy?
He just doesn't. I mean, maybe it's because he has to make weight. He's just not. He's just so classic. He doesn't have that thick.
I think you're crazy. I think he looks like Dennis Wolf with a back.
But he has no arms. But again, this goes back to body parts. He doesn't. You don't notice because the rest of him is so good. But his arms are nowhere near.
I think if you put 20 pounds on that kid, if we could spread it evenly over his physique, he would crush people in the open class.
Maybe. I just think he's so suited to that class.
No, I don't. I'm not disagreeing. But
Chris is another body part guy. Like he doesn't. He has pretty weak arms, but his front double's insane because of like how the flow is.
Because what I find really strange, his back from the front opens up like Dorian Yates used to.
Yeah.
But from the back, he's got a weak back. How does that make sense?
Because if you look at his rear shots, look at where his armpit, under his armpits, that's one of the weakest. The rest of it's
shallow. Yeah.
Which is why I don't know if Chris would be as good in the open, because I don't think he could put on that amount of muscle to, because he's quite tall as well.
Yeah. So if we're going to answer this, then we're going to say no social media doesn't mean anything.
I don't believe so, no. And I think Chris was the winner when you look at.
I agree with that.
It's classic physique. Who looks the most classic out of the three? Him.
What would you
Which one
do?
reminds you of the quote unquote golden era? Him.
Is it because of his mustache though?
Oh, he's fucking sick.
What other guy could rock a mustache and get away with it?
Very few.
It's like the only guy who could fucking rock that mustache.
Yeah.
We'll do a couple more, and I got to go to the gym. What would you do in a zombie apocalypse?
We're fucked over here because we don't have guns.
We don't have guns either.
No, we're all fucked, man.
I wasn't going to think that anyway. I was going to barricade my house.
Yeah, I'd barricade my house, but the thing is, it depends what kind of zombies we're talking about, right? Because the Walking Dead zombies, how on earth are they killing people, right? Because if I'm just sitting eating my dinner now, I got the door open, and I hear outside. Yeah. Oh, there's a fucking zombie out there. Shut the door. And somehow they're just. And then when I'm watching The Walking Dead, I'm like, how are you dying? But then there's like World War Z where they're sprinting at you and swarming.
Yeah.
Depends which zombies.
All right. All right, let's
go with Walking Dead zombies. I probably would do very little because I don't
know the difference. I don't watch fucking zombie shit.
Well, so
what about that Will Smith movie? Those are zombies. What movie was vampires. It? No, the Will Smith movie where like at night they all come out.
Yeah, they're vampires.
They weren't vampires, were they?
I read the book. I imagine they're vampires. That's why when they go out in the sun, they burn.
Oh, I didn't know that. I like that movie. I had no idea this whole time.
Yeah, they're supposed to be more vampires. They're kind of our own thing. But it's like, okay, so when I mean the two different types of zombie, in The Walking Dead, they're all really, really slow.
Yeah.
All rotten.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have any strength because they're fucking falling apart, and they're slow and loud.
Yeah.
So they're not scary. So if I hear, but have you ever seen World War Z with Brad Pitt?
Yeah, I have.
They swarm.
A long time ago.
Yeah, they swarm like ants.
Yeah.
Bees. They sprint. They fucking throw themselves at you. That's different.
But can they break through a barricaded window? More
likely than fucking.
I got a big ass truck. I'll just drive away. I don't care.
Yeah. But then if you in that scene in World War Z when they're swarming up the wall and they kind of like stuff tipping over the edge, they'll jump onto the helicopter and start pulling it down. Fuck that. They're the type of zombies that are scary. Or 28 days later ones are pretty bad as well.
Let's move on. I'm not familiar enough. Could you talk about the ways a coach can provide value to the clients? Do you want to talk about that? You're a coach. I wish to go into the bodybuilding coaching realm, and in the future, I would love to know what to look for and think about. I don't know if he means he wants to be a coach or if he needs a coach.
Well, I think if you are a coach, because both you and I do help people.
Not anymore.
I really enjoy it, actually. And I think it's trying to make things as easy for them to follow as possible, fitting into their lifestyle as well as possible, but in the same way, allowing them to get the results they want. It's not easy to do.
I found it to be so hard that I don't do it anymore.
See, I really like it because I think way too many people overcomplicate things and they don't realize how simple they can make it for themselves and still get to where they want to be.
No, but this is my thing. So my days are set up very simply. Like if I cook a tray of chicken in the morning, I'm probably going to eat most of my meals are going to be chicken. Yeah. Like I don't overcome. Like I got to have fish this meal and steak this meal and chicken this meal, and I make things as easy as possible. Yeah. But the average person, if you give them that kind of diet, they're like, "Oh, what is this? A cookie cutter? Fucking there's no variety."
Well, no, I give them a questionnaire.
Yeah.
And say this is what time I train. This is my job. This is what I do. And I just figure it out like that. And then I just give them. I don't give them their macros because that normally promotes a lot of people the idea that they can just cheat and eat whatever they want as long as they kind of shoehorn it into their allowances.
Yeah.
Which I don't like. So I just give them about 4 or 5 different food options per meal.
Yeah.
So you have chicken, beef, turkey, whatever, like of a certain amount, or whatever you want. Yeah. And I give them about 4 or 5 different carb options, and it's like you can make it a bit more. And I also like giving people palatable foods.
You can make it more livable that way.
Yeah, and I think because it depends on the person, their level, their appetite, whether they're in contest prep or just lifestyle, if they're an off-season bodybuilder. You just have to fit the person. You have to listen to the person's need. If somebody says to me they don't want to eat chicken and rice all the time, I'm like, all right, that's fine. So we find the foods that they actually like and try and work with that.
Yeah.
So,
I felt like I was having too much trouble in the one-on-one. People either didn't want to do the diet I wanted to give them, or they were cheating all the time or something. So I found that I still want to help people, but I can help people better by making videos.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
instead of helping one person with their diet, I can help however many people watch, like 100,000 people watched my last cooking video.
yeah.
So I feel like I can benefit people more that way because the one-on-one thing just wasn't working for me.
Yeah, see, I'm very limited. I don't take everyone on.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it though, and I feel like I learn a little bit about myself as well when I'm doing it.
I enjoy it when I get somebody like me.
Yeah.
Somebody, you know, when you get, sometimes you get like a guy who wants to compete and they're really hungry and they'll fucking do anything.
Yeah.
I like training those guys.
See, the one thing I always get one of my fucking hate things I hate about having clients is I have 2 days a week where I say you check in these days.
Yeah.
And if they check, so which is Monday and Tuesday, if they check in on a Thursday, I'm not fucking replying to you.
Yeah, I've done that.
And then they start getting really shitty that you're not replying to their emails. It's like, you're late. I've dedicated 2 days of work to you. These are my shifts, essentially. These are the times you have. You have 40 fucking 8 hours to check in. You have a whole 40 hours that I've allocated. That's enough.
But you know why that, people don't understand why that bothers you. It bothers you because you gave somebody a window, and if they don't care enough to check in, why should I care? Oh, I got to work on your schedule.
Yeah, so it's like I've allocated that time because the rest of the time I'm busy.
Yeah,
and I have contest prep clients, and I normally give them my WhatsApp.
But it's almost like it's I don't want to say disrespectful. That's probably too strong, but it's almost like they don't care.
Yeah.
So I always feel like as a coach, if they don't care, why the fuck do I care?
And it's like so you're paying me for my time, and that's the time I'm giving you. That's the time I've given. So if your boss said to you, "Can you work for free on Thursday for an hour?" No, you fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It's like it is a disrespect thing, and when they start getting shitty because they feel like you're not replying to them on time or whatever, it's like, well, no, you were late.
Yeah, I get it.
If that's the agreement, that it's very laid out in black and white at the beginning. A lot of the time, I have people check in more often, but that's on me. Yeah. So if I say check in Thursday because I want to see how you're getting on, that's on me, and because I know I've got time for that.
Yeah.
The days are the days laid out. And I think that's the same as if you're working with a coach. Respect them, and if they have a days where they expect you to check in, that's the days you do it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's the day they've allocated to it.
But this is the thing. Little things like this is why I don't really coach anymore. Because I just got fed up with like chasing people. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put out a macro amount of information. Yeah. And people can just take what they want from it.
Yeah, which is great.
We'll do one more. Let's see. What do we got here? Topic. I want to hear you guys talk about psych out tactics you guys have employed or people have tried to employ against you backstage or on stage and at hotels. This sounds like a boxing thing or a...
You are aware this is bodybuilding, right?
Yeah, we don't do that shit. Yeah. I don't know. There's no psyching out. Like it's like...
Yeah. Well, you're gonna like psych somebody out backstage and all of a sudden they're just gonna turn fat.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not... I've had people try and say shit to me, but it doesn't really happen.
I normally have headphones on backstage anyway. So
yeah. Okay, we'll pick one more. I can't find a good one here. Luke's lawnmower needs to elicit some hypertrophy. That's what we just got that one.
That's a good idea. It does. I haven't cut the grass since that video either. It's not that bad. It just keeps fucking raining. I can't even do my laundry because I can't put anything on the washing line.
I can't find a fucking topic here. There was a whole bunch.
What do you mean? You're looking at the right thread?
Oh, topic.
All right, let's go.
Okay, this is an X's and O's one.
Okay.
Those just two here. One's okay, cardio or tendonitis. Which one do you want to touch on? Are both boring?
Yeah. Sorry. Is that the question? You got to choose between doing cardio or having tendonitis?
No, I'll give you a good one. Here's a good one. Here. Okay. No. Okay, we'll answer these two really quickly. Cardio in the off season.
It depends. It depends on the person. It depends if you feel.
No, he's saying how many days. If you do it, first he wants to know if you do it, how many days, how long, what style, what do you suggest?
So for me, I just take my dog for a walk more. So
I'll say for me, it's 4 to 5 times a week, 30 minutes. As long as I get my heart rate up to 120, I'm good. I don't care what machine I use.
I just go for a longer walk with the dog and I power walk and I make sure there's a hill around. Again,
I think people
my lifestyle.
Don't you think people put way too much emphasis on what machine? I always get that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what machine.
What machine's your favorite? I'm like, I'm not doing. People think I do the step mill because it's going to help me build my glutes or something, and I'm like, I'm not on the step mill because I'm trying to tone my legs. That's what I'm doing when I fucking am on the leg press or on the hack squat.
Yeah,
I'm on the step mill because it gets my heart rate up really quickly.
Yeah, it's the same. It gets my heart rate up quickly.
Yeah.
Do you find that it's quite comfortable?
Yeah, I can like trot along for like 45 minutes.
You can get into a nice rhythm.
Yeah.
And your heart rate still up for the whole time.
Well, the thing is, if I go on the treadmill to get my heart rate up to 120, I almost have to be jogging.
Yeah.
And then my fucking feet hurt, my heels hurt.
Yeah, and it's like if I use a cross trainer, my feet go numb.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just do step mill, not because it's the greatest thing on earth. It's just the best thing for somebody our size, I guess.
Yeah. So for me, it's just, I would consider my cardio isn't really cardio in the off season. It's just increasing my activity level.
Yeah.
Just taking them. I mean, I'm hoping when I move house, I want to get a piece of cardio equipment like a Stairmaster or something.
Well, you got a 5-year lucrative deal now. Now you can afford it.
Well, I'm going to actually get one. Yeah, I am going to try. Well, the place I want to move is out in the middle of like fucking nowhere. There's nothing around. It's in the middle of the countryside. So I'm going to have to get a piece of cardio equipment for home.
Yeah, it's good anyway. It's good to have one.
Yeah, have you got one?
I got one. Yeah, I got a. Unfortunately, I have a treadmill.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
So expensive though.
I had a Stairmaster. I gave it to a friend. And I wanted to get a step mill, but to get a step mill, I have to put it in my garage because they're fucking taller, right? Yeah. I don't want to do cardio in the garage. Like fuck that. Yeah. So, plus I like going to the gym. I like getting up in the morning, and I fucking take a shower and I go to the gym and do my cardio. It gets my day started. Then go to the gym. I don't want to be the smelly fucker on the fucking cardio machine.
But if you shower before you go to bed, you should
listen. It does not matter. I slept, and who knows? I probably had sex with my wife in the middle of the night. I don't want to get up and go with my.
You probably fucked your wife in the night. I can't remember. Wow.
I didn't say I can't remember.
I probably fucked with my wife. Are you one of those people that do you just have sex and then roll over and just go back? Do you get up and wash? You don't get up and wash your sword?
I don't get up and fucking shower. No, I don't.
I always get because I got my little sink I got like a long sweet little shower room in my bedroom. I always get up and I wash it off.
No, I don't wash it off.
What the fuck? Really?
This is way too much information.
Well, no, because the amount of information you've got out of me, Luke loves anal is a fucking is a hashtag because of you.
Okay.
This is what I'm worried about because it's like when everyone knows that I'm like so with like potential girlfriend and whatever. When people know that they all gonna be like, she loves anal.
That's right.
And that is probably. Do you really not? Do you just roll over and go to sleep?
It depends what time it is. Sometimes if I wake up,
just staying in the middle of the night. Do you not get up have a little?
Okay,
wash?
If I wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm fucking horny and I want to have sex, and my wife is like, "Cool, let's do it," I usually just roll back over and pass right the fuck out.
See, I have to get up and have a little. Splash.
I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. to fucking swish some water on my bag. It's not clean anyway. I got to go to shower, and I'm not going to get up at 5 a.m. and shower.
How often do you get thrush, mate? Because it sounds like. Wow. So, well, I just think it's one of those things. I don't know. But it's like they don't just lie there. They have to sort themselves.
No,
out.
she gets up and
she has to get up because otherwise she'll be leaking everywhere. Like a chicken Kiev that you just cut open on a plate.
This is my wife, man. Come on.
Well, I'm just saying. No, I don't mean your wife. I just mean in general, everyone. If that's the way the woman has to get up and have a little wash.
The woman can do whatever the fuck she wants. That's her prerogative. For me, if I'm going to be clean, washing my nuts in the sink is not going to be clean. I got to shower. Yeah. And if it's 5 in the morning, I'm not going to go jump in the shower. I'm going to go back and go to sleep until I wake up in the morning at 7 or 8, and then I'm going to go shower and go to the gym.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense that you shower that early in the morning before.
Yeah, but the fact that you have sex at 4 a.m. and then just sprinkle some water on your nuts and then go to the gym anyway is gross.
No, I mean it's because I don't want just dried fucking cum all over my dick.
Yeah, but
I don't want to wake up and it's like crusted over. Like.
Okay, wait a minute. You just have sex and you fucking wipe it down a little bit and you go back to sleep. Yeah, and then you get up and you go to the gym and do cardio.
Yeah.
That's gross.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
because I've washed it. Because I showered.
Not really. You kind of like washed it a little bit.
No, I often use a bit of soap.
That's so tedious. Where are you washing it with soap without going to the shower?
Because I've got little soap dispenser. I put a little bit of soap in, wash my hands, wash that, splash my face with a bit of water.
But where is your dick going?
Well, my sink's literally 6 feet away from my bed. So
wait a minute. How high is the sink?
It's about waist height.
So you're like putting your shit over the counter into the sink.
Just flop it into the sink. Run under the tap.
Your dick doesn't flop. So you
flops into the sink.
Pull it over onto the sink.
Yeah, then it flops into the sink. And I just run under the tap. Jobs are good.
That's so horrible. And then you got crusty cum all over your counter.
No, because it's been cleaned. They clean it.
Way too much work. Go to sleep. Wake up and then clean yourself up.
I don't disagree with you because you're waking up and having a shower.
Yeah.
Because I wake up because I had a shower the night before. If something happens in the middle of the night, I'm clean when I wake up because I've washed that little bit. Wake up, put my
you know what? Let's take wait a minute. Let's take a poll, and this is in the comments section. If you wake up in the middle of the night, this isn't like before you go to bed.
Let's say 3 a.m. If
you went to sleep already and you wake up in the middle of the night and you have sex with your wife, do you get up afterwards and wash your junk or shower, or do you go back to sleep and shower in the morning when you wake up? I don't think guys are.
I think either approach is fine. I just like to keep it clean straight after.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with your approach, but I don't think there's anything wrong with just going to bed. What's the big deal?
No, there's not. I just think it's like having greasy hands. I have to wash my hands. I just can't go to bed. Just feel like no.
My nephew watches this podcast.
He's going to learn a shitload of stuff about us, isn't it? I'm sure, like, my daughter might watch this.
That's disgusting. Don't say that. Don't say
that. If you are, please turn it off. Don't ever.
Don't let her. Why? You should have said that before we talked about this.
Yeah, but maybe that's just me. But I would be quite interested to know what people do, because the woman always gets up and.
The woman has to always get up. The woman.
Yeah, they always get up by the short straw.
Well, because it's worse for them.
But their orgasms are better than ours.
It sounds like it. It sounds like.
Sometimes I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, are you all right?
Yeah, no, it sounds like they're having a better time than we are.
Yeah, so I think like that's kind of like.
But we have a good time more often.
Yeah, but then
it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off.
I guess they have the better orgasms because they have to go through childbirth, and they also have to kind of empty themselves out afterwards. So.
But what I'm saying is, they could have like a great orgasm once a week, or not just like a pretty good orgasm like 7 times a week.
Yeah, unless your girlfriend or wife is one of those nymphos that has to have an absolute phenomenal orgasm every time.
She's got like a dildo at her bedside and she has fucking that orgasm all the time.
Yes, I think that's the norm these days. I actually genuinely do, because there's so many memes I see about it that I'm like, it has to be normal.
My wife tells me she doesn't have one, but I don't know.
Well, she doesn't have a dildo?
I probably shouldn't get into this.
Well, no,
let's just leave it.
You probably shouldn't. But the thing is, the thing I'm okay when I'm officially in a relationship, then we'll start, because then we can start discussing these kind of things, because the playing field is even. Well,
no, my wife's a really private person.
Yeah.
So I don't think she wants me telling her sexual secrets online.
It's not a sexual secret. I think every woman does have one. And I think every woman should have one, because
but some women want it to be their private secret, whether they have one or not.
See, I think this is a generation thing, because I think most girls who are kind of under the age of, say, 27.
I don't think girls care anymore. I'm just saying.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think the young.
I'm not. Let me put it this way. I'm not saying if she did have one, that anyone would give a shit. It's not a big deal. Like, no one cares.
But I think it's like the generational thing. So your wife is very private, where I think younger women these days just don't care, and they're very, very open.
I agree with that. I'm a little bit shocked sometimes when I see some of the shit I see, because I'm like, there's like zero privacy.
Yeah, I'm pretty private too, which you wouldn't realize by this.
You're not private. You have a hashtag called Luke Loves Anal.
Yeah,
you're not private.
You prick. I didn't make that. You just brought it up, but it was just on my list of.
Oh, and you just happened to keep talking about it.
Yeah, because I was trying to smooth it over. Instead of smoothing it over, I just dug myself into a massive anal gate hole. That's what I did.
All right, let's wrap it up. We've been on for a while. I got to go train.
Yeah, I've got to go and sleep. It's 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, it's 10 p.m. What time is it? I know.
5 o'clock.
That's quite late for you training. I thought you were a daytime guy.
I do normally, but I had a whole bunch of shit to do today.
What time do you like training?
I did my blood work today.
I saw.
So if my blood work goes well, I get to fucking start again.
Yeah.
So we'll find. Huh?
You're looking a bit small.
I feel like I've lost a ton of fucking weight.
Is that a medium t-shirt?
It's actually a small.
It's medium. Do you know what? Do you get this as well? Like after a show, does your body go back to normal really quickly?
Like you mean I get fat again really quickly?
Like your body fat just goes back to where it's comfortable being?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why people ask me like if I reverse diet. I'm like, no.
I don't either, because like I can eat shit for like 2 weeks, or I can eat barely anything for 2 weeks. At the end of those 2 weeks, my body will look exactly.
It's still gonna go right back to where it was.
Yeah, it just like I think your body has like, because right now, like normally I've noticed this time I didn't get a huge water rebound in my legs and ankles like I normally do.
Yeah. I got that too as I got older.
My body fat just kind of went back to where it's comfortable. Like I'm still very lean. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like literally 5 days after the Olympia, I barely ate anything.
No, listen. People tell me all the time, like, "Why are you so lean in the off season?" Like, because I probably hover around 10 to 11% in the off season. And
you're very vascular as well.
Huh?
You're very vascular as well.
Yeah, well, I'm old. That happens when you get old. But no, but that's the thing. Like that happens right away, and then I just stay that fat. Like I don't.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, and that's because I always see people like they're reverse dieting from a show
for like 8 weeks.
And then for 8 weeks later, they're still lean, and then all of a sudden they're fat again. It's like, just get everything done with. Just get the fat on there. Just stop fucking around.
That's what John said once. I was doing a seminar with John, and one of the kids asked him, "Do you believe in reverse dieting, or just like do you just get to it?" And John's like, "No, I just get to it. I find the calories I want to get to, and I start eating those calories because why waste time? I'm just going to get to that surplus and start growing."
Chris basically said the same. He just said to me, just take time off for a few weeks, eat whatever you want. If you get fat, you get fat, because you're going to get fat anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's like, because fat, it's not really fat. It's just not shredded.
No, yeah, it's just like your body's going back to a place where it feels comfortable.
Like 10% is not fat. Like for the average person.
So I thought, I mean, if somebody saw me my top off now, they're like, oh, he's in really good shape. But it's not stage shape, you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's why I don't care. I don't ever do the reverse dieting thing. The only time I actually find any value in the reverse diet thing is some people tend to have a better appetite going into their off season.
Yeah.
Like they don't hit that appetite wall because they kind of did it slowly.
Well, I know a lot of coaches believe you should try and stay as lean as possible in the rebound. Yeah. I just kind of feel like your body would just kind of go where it wants to go.
I always felt like if your body's rebounding, it's waiting for nutrients. So fucking feed it. Yeah. Like it's just been my way. But this is before the Instagram age where like now you have to look great in all your photos.
Yeah.
So I never cared. I was like, oh, show's over. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to start eating.
I mean, one thing I do notice is my water balance takes about a month to get back to normal for sure.
You mean in the gym or like you're retaining your water retention?
Where I retain water, like.
I noticed as I got older, my water retention like got better faster.
Yes, that's what I've noticed this time as well.
But my strength in the gym, like if I took a diuretic before the show, it took me a while to like feel hydrated and strong again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think this is what 3 weeks off I've had now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't train today, but I'm gonna go train tomorrow. I'm gonna train about 3 days this week.
Imagine how good you're gonna feel.
It's probably gonna suck. Because it's probably going to get the biggest pump ever.
And the pain's going to suck horribly.
Yeah, because I'm going to start with legs tomorrow. And I just feel like my legs are going to be so badly cramping. It's going to suck. I actually remember a couple of years ago, my ex Carly and I, we went on holiday.
Yeah.
To Cancun for a week. It was actually after I won the British. So I won the pro card. We went about 2 weeks later. And I trained legs. We trained legs like 2 days after we got back. And then that night we went out for my friend's birthday. We went out for this big, huge family. We were all there at this table. And I got up to take a piss and my legs just locked up.
That's happened to me.
And I was wearing jeans and I collapsed onto the floor and I had to crawl myself across
in the restaurant?
In the restaurant. Because everyone was just pissing themselves laughing at me.
Holy fuck.
I had to crawl across the restaurant floor like a fucking soldier.
Holy shit.
Pulled myself into the toilet. It was the worst cramps I've ever had. Like my legs locked like that.
Yeah.
I know. Sugar from holiday, vacation, and I'm just terrified this can happen tomorrow.
That happens to my hamstrings all the time. So I trained legs, and then me and my wife and another couple, well, my training partner and his wife, we went out to dinner, and we sat down. We had I ordered drinks. We had a couple appetizers. I get up to go take a piss. Yeah. once I got my hamstrings just locked, and I bent back over so they wouldn't like get any worse. So I'm leaning over the table, and Paul's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Dude, my fucking hamstrings just seized right up." He's like, "Sit back down." I'm like, "I gotta go take a piss." So I literally like walked like this, like baby steps.
Because when I did mine, I stood up. My hands and quads went at the same time.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing you can do.
It was so painful. It was funny. I was laughing. Everyone was laughing. I had to crawl across the floor.
This is how you know you have a good training partner, though. So I get to the bathroom. I'm taking a piss. Paul walks in the bathroom with a little rock glass full of salt water. He goes, "Here, I got this for you." I chug it. I'm fine. Just fucking like that. Like
I do that. I have so I have loads of sachets of electrolytes in my bag.
Yep.
So on the way home from the gym, I put it in a little bottle, and I have
That's a good idea.
Is it quinine? Is it quinine?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a little bit of that in my gym bag just in case.
Really? It's that bad? You have quinine with you?
Sometimes. Yeah, but it's just like, that's like a last resort.
Yeah.
If your hands and quads go at the same time,
yeah,
it's the worst.
I
can't move.
No, I know. That's happened to me before, and I was like,
I know it's going to happen tomorrow because it's the first time I've trained in a while.
But you got to admit, there's a part of your brain that's like happy that it's happening because you know you destroyed it in the gym.
Yeah, my quads are the thing that cramp the most after training.
Yeah.
Because like when I really have a good session, my legs are just hard.
Yeah. I thought there was something wrong with me, and I talked to John. He goes like, "No, man." He's like, "Anytime you have a good leg workout, that's going to happen."
Yeah.
So
it's the same with any body part. Like
I don't get it. I get it with chest a little bit, but I don't get.
Have you ever had it with like when you had a really good back session, you got to wipe your ass and your lat cramps? You never had that?
No.
You ever had it with like when you're in the shower?
But you told me you wipe from the front. Why would that happen?
I've never fucking said that. I'm going to wipe from the front. What do you mean? Like, why would I?
That's a new hashtag. Luke wipes from the front.
Shitty balls. No, no. You know, like sometimes when you're in the shower after training chest, and you like go to. Like,
that every time.
Back just locks up.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, that's another reason why I don't like training abs, because they always cramp because I don't train them.
I only get that cramp in the abs for the first week, and then it starts to go away.
But then it puts me off because it's fucking horrible. So you're just sitting, you're driving home, and all of a sudden your abs lock up. There's nothing you can do about it.
that happened to me during sex once.
Yes. yes, that happens quite a lot.
No, like right at the end. I'm like, oh fuck.
And you lock up, and she thinks, oh, he's having a great time, and you're there like, oh.
What the fuck?
And then she feels smug afterwards because she thinks like, sucked your soul out.
My wife can't watch this episode for sure. She can't watch this episode.
Just we didn't record.
Yeah, it didn't work. All right, I gotta go train.
Yeah. Anyway, cheers, man, and I'll. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, yo, if you guys watch, leave your topics in the comment section.
Hang your dick after sex in the middle of the night.
Yeah, go hang your dick over the sink.
Yeah, drop it in the sink.
Oh yeah, don't forget. Yeah, watch if you. Do you wash in the middle of the night after sex, or do you just roll over and go to sleep? Yeah. All right, we'll talk to you soon, Luke. Later, guys.